Hey guys, this is Say. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because I have a question that I want to answer. Somebody on Tumblr, Mirosaurus Stone and Forhoovian, to be specific, asked me how I get ideas for mini-comics. So I wanted to kind of go over that and what my thought process is as I write and create mini-comics. So first off, the idea. Good ideas can come from anywhere, but I think for a mini-comic it's best if they come organically from the characters themselves or from the situation and world you put them in. For instance, do you have two characters that are opposites and have interesting interactions? Maybe you could have a comic about that. Or you could talk about a bit of a character's backstory or talk about the mechanics of your world if you have something special like a magic system or something. Those are all good things to talk about in a mini-comic. I also find it helpful to use a song or a mood as kind of a jumping off point as I work on my mini-comic ideas. And often I'll just think about my characters, put on a playlist that reminds me of them, and just take a walk and let my mind wander. And that kind of helps my mind organically generate these things. In my creative process, personally, I find that the ideas that come organically are better and more interesting generally than the ones that I force out, if that makes sense. So yeah, basically I just set my mind in a tone or a mood or an emotion that I want to convey, and then I give it an empty stage to wander. Brainstorming also helps. Now, when you're writing a mini-comic, don't forget, if your audience doesn't know your story or characters yet, you should give them something to latch onto. Don't just leave them out of the conversation completely. That's why I find it useful to explain a bit of the character's backstory, so if someone's not familiar with my entire story, they can pick up on something new, and they can share that experience of picking up on something new with other readers who are already more familiar with the characters. As far as length goes, well, how far do you want to take your idea? If you're stating a problem and giving a solution, then that's going to be a longer mini-comic than if you just want to state a thought or a tone. Also keep this in mind, if you want a more complicated tone or a lot of emotional changes within your mini-comic, it's gonna probably have to be longer than 10 pages or something. I like to start big and go little, meaning I like to hash out the ideas and what happens before I get hung up on the details and word choice. Figure out what's gonna happen first, and then you can agonize over exactly what the characters are going to say later. Guest captioner really helped me with word choice and with specific things, but I would often come to her with, oh, I need this panel to be sad, or I need him to say something funny in this panel, and then she would help me with the word choice there. So it's really good to have a partner to bounce things off of. And here's probably the most important thing when writing mini-comics or comics of any sort: keep the visuals in mind when you write it. In my scripts, I always write notes like, pause a panel while she thinks, because the visuals are half of the story. You can't tell the whole story with the script, otherwise it could just be a book, you know? This is a visual medium, take advantage of it. Anyway, those are my thoughts on mini-comics. I hope you find them useful. Obviously, there are hundreds of ways to write a story in any format, so I just shared the things that work for me, specifically. Thank you for your support, take care, and I'll see you later, Anna Crew.